Happy Monday, everyone. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. Hopefully, you've coped without Simon and I. We're here every week, well, mainly every week at 6 p.m, doing a Q&A on all things golf equipment and coaching. We've had a busy time. Simon's been away on holiday, traveling Europe, bit of Monza F1. Enjoyed that?
Oh, stunning. A Ferrari win at Monza. Locals very happy. Amazing atmosphere. Fabulous.
Lots of pizza, lots of wine?
No, pizza, no. A lot of pasta and a lot of Parma ham.
Got it.
Not good for the cholesterol, but hey. Yeah.
Who cares? We're back. Obviously, we've got a big week for the Solheim Cup coming up. We had a great win, Matt Wallace on Crans-sur-Sierre. A fabulous week on the DP World Tour. It's vistas that we all dream about, playing up at altitude, balls going further. Bit of comedy greens with Sevi. It's a bit of a funky place, but one that really is good for viewing and captures the imagination.
Yeah, I think the course, it seems to lend itself to a real variety of winners. You've got the Fitzpatricks, Oberg, Sevi, Matt Wallace this week, and great to see Beef up there again, coming back. But yeah, the course itself is a bit nuts, but I think because it's the same place every year, you get to know it well, and it kind of feels like nice, sort of familiar territory.
Very much so. Solheim Cup coming up this week. We've got the teams up in front of us here, just checking out the American team, the European team. Of course, it would be amiss if we didn't celebrate the Curtis Cup. GB&I winning, turning over the Americans. Obviously a great victory there. Always nice to see the amateurs doing super well.
Yeah, and Curtis Cup seems to be, that's the one that has generally been the hardest one for us to win. I think if my kind of gut feel on it, I haven't actually double checked the exact stats on it, but it feels like that's the one that if we get that, then it kind of gives the confidence for the others too. And great to have the Solheim Cup following up straight away. Be great to get the double over the US.
And for it to be at Sunnydale as well, obviously just around the corner from us here at Precision Golf in Surrey. Two great golf courses. If you've not been, it's certainly one for the bucket list. We're very, very lucky with the golf courses that we've got in Surrey. Sunnydale just been one of maybe 10 golf courses. Heathland, Pine Trees, it's just a beautiful, beautiful venue. You've played Sunnydale many times. Any standout holes for you on the old course?
There are standout shots, I think.
Only ask for holes, not shots.
7. Sorry, that is a blind tee shot, but then the second shot I think just set so well into the slopes. And 10, tee shot and 10 is just stunning, isn't it? So
100%.
Just a beautiful, beautiful course. And I think that's where those courses now, like White Place and George's Hill, I think would be an amazing Curtis Cup venue because the length of the course is perfect. So around 6,500 yards. You've got some great elevation changes. It looks great on television as a result as well. I thought the course looked superb.
Yeah, very much so. Touching on the Solheim Cup, who do you think is going to win going in? And we've obviously got Georgia and Charlie, homegrowners from the UK, training here with Kate, PG. Obviously, they've been working hard on their physical game. They haven't necessarily kicked on. I think it would have been a disappointing weekend for Charlie. However way you mix it, to be up there in the mix at St Andrews going into the weekend, really fell over herself. It was a shame that she didn't kind of kick on and do as well as she should have done in many respects. Georgia Hall had, again, another fair week.
Solid.
Fair week. But, it'd be nice to see, obviously, the Solheim Cup be won by the Europeans. We've got Leona Maguire. She's obviously having a good season. She's a strong competitor, consistent competitor.
As well.
Good, consistent competitor. Madeline Sagstrom. I was in Sky a few months back and we were talking about Madeline, and she's got. I actually played against Madeline in the Sunnydale Foursomes a few years ago. Incredible swinger of the golf club, really strong player, but again, someone that hasn't got over the line, hasn't won enough on the Ladies European Tour, on the LPGA Tour as well. What do you think? They've got 4 captains picks to go. Who do you feel is going to be the standout team?
It's interesting. I think the European team has both teams actually have a real mix of experience and some young blood. I think when you got Lexi's last one, currently she may decide she wants to come back again, but I think currently would say her last Solheim Cup. I think having Europe having won the last couple, I think on home territory, I think the US are going to really, really want this. I think this is going to be I think the last few have been really even contests. And I think this is going to be another one. I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I think the US are just going to get it. I don't want it to be the case, but I just got to feel that they're just going to get over the line this time.
We'll see.
Partly cyclical, but I just on balance across the whole team, I think as a unit, they're just that little bit more in form at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that starts this Friday. Obviously, we're all so excited to watch it.
Yeah.
As per usual, we've got the double iPads. We have, thank goodness, got James back from his travels as well, doing the discs for us. So big grateful plea for him. So we're going to kick straight into the questions. Anything golf equipment related, fire it over at Simon. And anything golf coaching, I'll be happy to answer those questions. We'll start off with Chris Burgess, the Yorkshire Blade. Not quite sure why you put the Yorkshire Blade at the start, but it's great nevertheless, Chris.
Sounds like a Max Fly Club, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Great have hail and pace back on a Monday. Thank you. It's great to be here. Yorkshire Airlines, not again quite sure. Clearly a very strong Yorkshireman. At the fourth time of asking, can Simon hit the Mizuno 241 and Cobra King MB with Axiom shafts of your choosing?
Yeah, certainly. Go and grab those.
Yeah, he will go and dash off and grab those. Mr. Tightless says, welcome back. He's missed these. Well, great to be back. As Simon heads off and grabs those bits, we'll nip over to Good Golf Coaching chat. Steve Werry, hi from the US. Hi, Steve. Nice to have you along. Question for you. Why is it I can compress my shorter iron so well, but as I go up the bag with lower lofted iron, the compression gets harder to get? Do I need to change anything? Well, that is how long is a piece of string. Ultimately, people are very happy hitting down with loft, and there is a point where hitting down with lots of loft becomes no longer efficient when the loft reaches a certain value. And again, that is different for everyone. And the reason why it's different for everyone is because of your clubhead speed, how much open or closed your face to path is, how much your angle of attack is affecting it, and how much your pivot is out of shape relative to the golf ball. So unfortunately, without seeing you, Steve, I can't give you any certain ingredients. My first port of call would be, what shape do you hit in the sky? Do you hit a bend to the left, or do you hit a bend to the right? Second question would be, what's your clubhead speed? And third question would be, do you take a divot? And from there, I might have an idea of where to go with it. But this could be, we've got an hour, so keep those insights coming over. Doug has come on. Hi guys, good to see you back. Are you up for a skills challenge? We're always up for any challenge. We are going to play the hideous 18th hole at Crans-sur-Sierre in a moment, once we get through some questions, and maybe we'll do it while we're answering the questions. But Simon is going to get into this on fourth asking, by all accounts, from the Yorkshire Blade, of trying out these the Mizuno 241s. I'm going to grab a drink while you do that.
So
I'm
yeah,
parched.
241s and the Cobra, the MBs, both really classic blade heads, compact, very simple looking, clean top lines. Cobra's a little shorter heel to toe, but yeah, both soft feeling, classic, beautiful blade heads, if you like that kind of thing. So I've gone the 105 Axiom simply because the 125 is too heavy for me. So this is the closest to what I play, and we'll get a bit of a comparison in the data, and obviously ignore where it goes in the background on this. This is set up for a tee shot, but we'll look at the data and compare. So. And that was right out the toe, so we're not going to judge that one too harshly.
And that was quite lucky, really, because I nearly walked straight in front of the camera when you hit that, so that wouldn't have gone down well either.
Let's see if I can find somewhere near the middle of the face. There we go. So beautiful, soft feeling head. And with the Axiom, actually, you're going to the composite's going to dull down the sound a little bit as well, makes it feel just a little bit softer again. But that one here, relatively high spin, 5.7 on spin. So for me, slightly kind of higher flight, but decent ball speed. This is based on altitude because it's at crawl. So we'll take a little bit off that. But yeah, I mean, so blades, do actually spin it more than most cavities, simply because the centre of gravity sits higher, so you're striking below the CG line and retain spin. So they help not launch it too high. They keep launch down a little bit, but they do spin it a little bit more. And then going into the Cobra head, in a little bit shorter heel to toe, but certainly not going to lose any of that feeling of softness with this head. Slightly more solid hit.
Nice. A few people would have been paying for these, taking these shots. Mind you, that hasn't got to the fairway, so probably they wouldn't have wanted that.
Yeah. So a little bit. That one drew a little bit more. I'll do one more just to give it a fair trial. But 5-3 on spin, so a little bit less high on spin. The Cobra head's generally been pretty good for maintaining. That was a better hit. Maintaining launch and spin. So slightly harder sound off the head of the Cobra versus the Mizuno. The two dots are pretty much on top of one another there. This one, 5-7 on spin as well. So really between the two heads, between any very traditional blade head where it hasn't got a load of tungsten in the heads to try and move CG around, just a straight one-piece blade, you're not going to see very much differential in launch and spin simply because there's no tech in there to influence it. But if you're like the pureness of feedback off the head, softer feel, and maintaining a bit of spin, both great heads.
Very good indeed. My sister's in the house. All we need is Gary to turn up and we've got the trifecta. Hello, sis. Nice to have you with us.
You can tell us how the golf's going. Isn't she going to take up golf after?
Yeah, I know. She was super
We're going to hold you to that.
Super enthused after watching the Monty interview. Hopefully you all enjoyed the Monty interview. That was fantastic. James Franklin. As there's no way to book him via the website, all the best. Oh, hang on, I missed out the question before. James Franklin, hi guys, absolutely love these live streams. Thank you. We love doing them. Planning on coming in for a full bag club fitting, as I've never had one. Currently sat at 4 handicap. I was just wondering if Simon still does the fittings, as there's no way to book him via the website.
So my diary's not online, but you can still book it. It's a case of just email in, and then I'll liaise with you, or when the guys at reception will liaise with you directly about dates. But just because mine's a bit more limited, so I don't want my diary filling up at the cost of others. My fittings are a little dearer than the other guys as well, though, so I am a little bit more per fitting.
Horse racing legends. Our team played against Milne Gavey Golf Club, and Lorna McClemont thrashed our scratch guy 7-5. A lovely family as well. Lorna will be world class. Horse racing legends. I don't really know what that means, but it's as good as I could read it. Sorry, horse racing legends, but it didn't really make sense to me.
It's wonderful seeing him that confused when reading a question.
Thank you. Josh Wright. We know Project X, DG, KBS, Modus, iron shafts. Can you hit a few with more unusual fitter only choice iron shafts? Maybe Oban or Acra or something else obscure. T100 head would be good, good head to match.
Okay. All right. Yeah, certainly do that.
We've got challenges coming in on the page now about you and I. I've got a challenge coming from Doug. He says, "Hi guys, good to see you back. Are you up for a skills challenge?" And the skills challenge is driver challenge. Tape up or spray the face. Well, we don't need to do that, Doug, because TrackMan can track the contact patch. Wants us to hit one out the high toe, low toe, high heel, low heel, and out the middle.
The middle one will be tough.
Yeah, that's the bit that's difficult. We'll certainly give that a go for you, Doug. Absolutely no problem at all. I'm going to jump back to Baptiste Vanquim. Hello from France. Could you please explain the concept of narrow, wide, etc., and briefly how it applies for type of club, driver versus irons, or type of game, long versus short game? Always thankful. Well, you've asked about 8 questions in one there, Baptiste. But look, here at Precision Golf, we always aim to please. We usually do as well. So narrow and wide. Narrow and wide are referencing 2 points. One, the hands in relation to the body, and 2, the club head in relation to the body. If you're narrow with your handle or narrow with your hands, it means that your arms are folding up. So your arms are pulling too close. If you're narrow with the club head, it means that you either have a lot of wrist set going back or you have a lot of wrist set coming down. The more narrow you are with either, usually you have more angle of attack if that's on the way down. If you're more wide on the way down, you are usually shallow in angle of attack, and that will affect ball flight and also affect the speed that the club head travels in. If you are wide on the way back to narrow, that's a more powerful movement. If you are narrow on the way back, you're usually wide on the way down, and that's a more of a less powerful motion. For short game, if you are wide with both club head and handle, you'll tend to have a much cleaner, more flighted short game. And if you're more narrow and steep, you'll tend to have a more low, squeezed, spinnier short game. In general, it's better to be wide with short game than narrow, because that means you collect it. And the same for drivers, you want to be wide for drivers. But then for irons off the deck, you want to be more narrow. So the trouble with this game is that not one size fits all, and that's really the skill to it. You need to be super narrow when you're trying to hit something low. You need to be super wide when you're trying to hit something high. So managing your levers is crucial to being able to hit all of the shots, and that's what all of the golfers in the world are trying to do, is try and get their levers and their body to be in a window where it delivers the golf club to an optimum. You always have outliers, someone like a Matt Fitzpatrick that's super down, super narrow, low ball flight, but that's because of his grip. Or someone of maybe yesteryear, someone like Marco Mira, who was super weak, super neutral, very wide in his golf swing, very high ball flight player, weak in compared to his peers. So that's a bit of a rundown for wide to narrow. I told you it was a big topic.
That's why you get players who are like Alathable, who's a brilliant iron and wedge player, awful driver ball.
Awful driver.
It's rare that they cover all.
Yeah, absolutely. So
if you're like me, you're narrow with your wedges and you fat, wet upslope, partial wedge shots.
Perfect. Yeah, and it's always invariably you get the shot that you're least good at when you're on a good score and coming down the last 2 or 3 holes.
Yeah, 100%. So we have, we've got 3 more obscure ones. We've got the Oban, the CT115, Acra Ice Steel Red 110, trying to keep weights as similar as possible, and the VA Composites Sinister 110. So, and I've got two T100 heads here, so I don't have to pull as many clubs apart. So, as a bit of a comparison, they're 3 really quite different beasts from a balance and a construction point of view. The Oban's the only one that are what we call extruded. They're pressed through a hole essentially, rather than wrapped and there's no seam, there's no join to them. And they have a slightly different progression of shafts of setup. Rather than the regular, a stiff and an X, they've got an extended stepping, and you step up and down between the flexes and the weights. So this is a shaft that I play. Very, very smooth, consistent feel. There's a real kind of load all the way through the shaft. Very even balanced profile. Mid-launch, mid to strongish mid on spin, but a really kind of the consistency of flight out of these really, really nice. Very stable all the way through the set. And we go to the Acra, the Ice Steel Red, they do a green as well, which is a kind of a mid-launch, mid-spin. The red is designed for lower launch, much heavier in the tip. So generally suits someone who's got much more of a kind of aggressive kind of hit at pull on the handle. So for me, this wants to drop in behind me a little bit more, so I'll have to work a bit harder to get this through. But a very stout, stable feeling shaft. So I've got to fetch that a lot more. It suits a little bit more of an aggressive action in principle. Theory brings the flight down a little bit, but a much stiffer, more stout feeling shaft. And relative to weight, swings heavier. And then we switch over to the VA Composites. This is a composite shaft. Got a bit of tungsten powder in it, with mixed into the glue and with the weave to get the balance point of the shaft down a little bit more. Now this is a parallel tip shaft, so it's not progressed. So there's a unitized shaft which is then trimmed for length and for tip length as well. We'd love Vic to do a taper tip version of it, but currently he doesn't want to do that. But a really smooth feel, say same weight, but if you want to take a bit of vibration out, go to the composite, the layers and the construction, take a bit of the vibration and the sting out of the strike. But for a graphite, for a composite shaft, still get a bit of feel for the weight down the bottom end. A slightly more cushioned contact from a sound point of view, but a really kind of smooth feeling shaft. It's just whether the lack of progression of weight through the set allows you to feel the short irons or not. But kind of sits similar kind of weight. Nice sort of pretty neutral, strongish flight out of it, but construction-wise, three totally different shafts. And this one looks really funky.
Very good. Where do we go from there?
Quick draw McGraw.
Very good, very good, very good.
How about we hit the tee shots on this one?
Let's hit the tee shots on that one.
Just to punish ourselves.
Wonderful,
So,
wonderful.
72nd hole of the tournament at Crans.
Yeah.
One shot ahead.
Yeah.
Need par to win.
Yeah.
How aggressive are you going off this tee?
I think it's one of those tee shots. I think whenever you're playing, when you're playing your good golf, which he clearly was, you got to go all in.
Yeah.
If there is one thing that you need to be, is all in. Because if you go foot off the gas, half-mast it, I think you are welcoming or bringing in not only problems for here and now, but problems down the road.
Yeah.
Because if you go half and half and you back off of it and you hit a crapper, you're done for. Because now you've gone conservative and you're out of shape, you're bound to make bogey. Whereas if you go all in and you hit a crapper, at least you can grow from it. Because you were all in, you were trusting yourself, you're playing your good golf, you're stepping forwards. I just needed to be better and more comfortable with it. I think the minute you back off of it, I think you are done for. So for me, I would always, I mean, it's not reckless, but I mean, it's a 400-yard par 4. I mean, you don't necessarily need to take driver, but the problem is that you've got a sloping fairway.
You're very steeply left to right.
Yeah, and you've got those traps up there, the right. If you're going to find the trap, you'd much rather be up there than being short.
Being the further one rather than the shorter one.
So I would absolutely all day long. I mean, it's a long way to the soup. You've got a real clanger to hit it in the soup, haven't you, down the right wing. So
you've got to be longer than you or I.
So I would definitely be taking said driver out. You? What would you be doing?
There's a bit of me that kind of feels like saying, well, would you just put the chicken stick out there? But then you've got a long shot into this green.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're better off playing from closer in.
I played in front of you at Costa Navarino, and I was hitting driver everywhere, and you were hitting your 2-iron in a lot of places where I thought, so you're definitely not hitting driver down there, are you?
I think the only thing with this hole is, I agree, I think it's better to be further up.
Yeah.
And if you're leading going down the last and you're playing well.
I mean, I think this graphic doesn't do it any favours, but those trees here, I mean, they look awfully close, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they look awfully
further
close.
away than it looks like, or do they look closer than they?
Yeah. Go on, you're warmed up, so you can go first. He's been hitting balls
play
all
here
afternoon.
is just aim it left edge of the bunkers, clatter it, and hope you draw it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Like it. Oh goodness, that. Oh.
I've hit it well.
Melted.
Oh, I've overdrawn it.
Overdrawn it straight.
It's kicked out.
Oh.
But look, but this shows where it's just it's gone.
Yeah.
Right edge of the fairway.
We might as well play the hole, mightn't we?
Well, what we can do is we can actually place it where those tee shots end up.
I need a glove. I'm going to go and get a glove. I'll be 2 seconds.
I'll hit one more whilst you're getting a glove. So that was just I tried too much. I'm just going to just stand and deliver. Don't try and shape it. Just wallop. Yeah.
Oh, look.
That's spot on perfect now.
That's middle for middle, isn't it?
You see, what you need is the World Second Shot Championship. And then, but even that's trying to go in the bunker.
If you're new to the channel and you are fed up with paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, let me tell you, get yourself over to gxgolfgloves.com. They are epic gloves, tried and tested by elite amateurs and tour players alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING and you will get 10% off your next order. It's almost like I've said that before. Oh. Yeah, how many balls have you hit today?
Oh, I had about 5 or 6 before just to kind of check out this was working.
Yeah, just check out. Yeah, check out. I understand that. I understand.
2 weeks without touching a golf
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
Is it drawing back?
It felt okay.
But as you say though, that actually is a miss.
Yeah,
Is-
so
is-
I mean,
as long
trapping
as it gets into the bottom of the bunker, you're fine.
yeah, I mean those trees do feel awfully close, don't they? Do feel
But
awfully close.
this is the reason why it's no surprise that someone like Fitzpatrick, Wallace is a very good driver of the ball.
Yeah.
That those guys have won round here, and then when you think Sevy's won round here because he's good at getting out of any situation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of tailor-made for someone like him, right? Oh no, that's bad. That one. That's not good at all. That's actually in the soup.
No.
No, it's not.
No, he
Drew
did manage
back.
to toe strike it and bring it back in.
Yeah, beautiful. That's where Sevy had to hack out of the trees down the right-hand one. But it's a tough tee shot, isn't it? It is a tough tee shot with those
And then you're left
trees.
left with a horrible approach. So if they want to see the approach as well,
Yeah, not nice.
and you're playing out of the right semi-rough half the time. We've ended up there. Over water, tight pin.
Yeah, it doesn't really faze me,
Nasty.
that one. 87 yards. I'll go first. 87 yards.
It'll play more like kind of 80.
Yeah. Yeah, more like 80. I've got the wrong club here. I don't know why I picked this up.
I mean, that pin's okay because it's on the green a little bit. It's not tight. God, look at that. I don't know why I picked this.
Well, that was the wrong club.
One
That was the wrong club. But I mean, when you've got it, you know what I mean. It's just like,
like 80.
you just make it work, can't you? Make it work.
This is where I come unstuck. So we go, yeah, just a little cheeky one out the 80, 90%. Little cheeky one out the rough.
We've got a lot of questions coming. We need to get a wriggle on.
There we go.
So,
Shouldn't be in the water.
my sister said, I'm going to take some lessons next time she's back. She knows someone that gives them, usually inspired by Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if she can get
I don't
lessons.
know who she's talking about.
Yeah, I know. So, Robin Morton, how about a 14 club challenge? I don't know what a 14 club challenge is. You know what a 14 club
Full
challenge?
set of gloves, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's golf, isn't it? Tony, by the way, many thanks to Simon for his driver shaft recommendations, working really well.
Great stuff.
This is good news. Noel, 1988. Hi guys, wondering why I get better spin numbers with more game improvement strong lofted irons over a more traditional lofted iron. Is there any simple answer as to why?
There's not a simple answer. I mean, it may just be that actually there are some players that the lower mass actually helps to get into the bottom of the ball and flight it a bit more. So it could just be that you're getting a better quality strike, therefore better ball speed, better height, and therefore better spin. But normally you would get a stronger loft and lower spin out of the game improvement head. So it's not necessarily straightforward, and it could be that there's a better shaft for you in that game improvement iron as well. So there are a few variables in there.
Very good, very good. Horse racing legends replace out with hour, and it all makes sense. The bit that I didn't get with horse racing legends was the Scratch Guy 7 and 5. A lovely family as well. Lorna will be world class. That's the bit that I didn't understand, the end bit with who Lorna is. Anyway, I'm sure she's a lovely person. John Payton, mate, how can we get you for a visit to Vegas? Wish Elon could solve long distance commutes. Well, listen.
No, yes, he must have done another on one of our YouTube videos. And said,
right, okay. Well, listen.
It'll be a tough commute to Vegas.
Listen, I mean, look, we're happy to take a first class trip. James, Simon, and I we'll happily get ourselves down there for a week. It's no problem. You get us. We can commute. Anyway, John, we'll wait and stand by for that ticket. Eric Wallace, my two favourite fellas. Well, that's very kind of you. Happy
Low
Monday. I struggle with driver, but pretty comfortable with fairway woods. Can you explain expected distance loss between driver and say a 3-wood or mini driver?
So, I mean, mini driver, you're not going to lose as much with the current ones because they're driver flight. So some of the distance loss of the fairway wood is because the spins, you've got more loft, more spin. So in terms of, let me, whilst I'm going to stick this back on the range settings, it'll be more useful. Generally speaking, I would say you're losing should lose about 10% of distance from driver to fairwayward. That would be my kind of gut feel in terms of what distance loss. So for me, I'm kind of 290 to 300 with the driver. I'm 260, 65 with the three-wood. So generally speaking, that's kind of the proportion that I'd expect to see as a drop-off. Mini drivers like to be about a halfway house.
While we're doing this, I think we should do the challenge that Doug asked for, hitting out the toe hill.
Okay.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Should we do that as well while we're doing it?
What I can
Then
do
we get a bit
here.
of action whilst we're chatting.
If is that screen visible? The split screen?
Yeah. We only need to keep, if you keep the double screen, yeah, James will be able to get that one up. But we only need to. Oh yeah, that's right. No, that's fine. Yeah. So we'll start with. We'll keep answering questions. It's driver, yeah. So high toe first. Got to get it high and out the toe. So top left-hand quadrant on the screen is the one that you got to find it in.
Right.
What have we got else here? So good evening from Houston, Texas for Dennis Schwartz. Is that high and out the toe? 1 for 1? 1 for 1.
Yeah.
1 for 1. Doug said, by the way, he said his money's on me, which is a bit scary. That is, I think you're just as formidable with this.
This is a man who's clearly worth dealing in risk.
Yeah.
That sounded quite solid.
That was quite solid. That I think it's high toe though.
Oh, a little more centred.
Yeah. That's high toe. Let's see. Now we're going. He wanted us to go high toe. Now we've got to go low toe.
Low toe.
Which one do you think is going to be your tricky one?
High heel.
High heel. That is the tricky one. That's the smallest. Well, that feels like the smallest bit of the club, doesn't it? So low toe.
Pretty happy with that.
Did you get that? Yeah. Okay. Low toe.
Oh, it's just crept into it. I'm going the majority of it's in the lower part.
Right in. Tell us whether
What was the next question? We can go.
Tell us whether that is truly low toe.
Well, it's slightly below the equator line. It's lower than the other one.
Low toe.
That's going to be pretty. Yeah.
Low toe.
What else
Let's ask another question.
Are we going to go low or high on this next one?
The next one is we've gone high heel.
Oh, yeah.
So
this is just a scary one.
Yeah, I know. High heel.
About hitting the shaft.
High heel. Let's see who we got here.
Just a horrible part of the clubber to hit it off.
Have you hit it high heel? You got it high heel. Very good. Tom Ashmore. Evening, gents. Happy to see you back on a Monday evening. Good to be back. Simon, could you explain the overall feeling and balance point of the Tour AD VF 7S shaft, please?
VF 7S. So the VF tip stiff, balance points down the lower half. So the bottom end's very, very stable. So it's a very stiff bottom half on it. So it feels really tight at impact, but the balance is down that lower part of the shaft. So it's designed and suits a slightly more aggressive move. Gives you plenty to hit against relative to weight. And it's really aimed at that kind of Ventus Black kind of style shaft. So not dissimilar to that. I hope that answers the question.
High heel.
High heel.
Oh, that is
it's a scary strike
I mean,
point.
I've hit that really high and out the heel. That was just a wretched.
It makes you feel like vomiting, doesn't it?
I think that might have loosened off my club head.
Yeah.
I feel like that's.
It's a disgusting part of the club head to hit it off.
Yeah.
The really kind of dead part of the club head.
It's just rancid, isn't it? It's rancid.
Right, low heel. Ooh.
Low heel. Low heel. Let's ask another question before you hit that. Chris Burgess, the Yorkshire Blade. I'm going to stop saying that because I don't like that anymore. I'm joking.
Hey, up.
Past or recent, which make model of irons were, in your opinion, the most groundbreaking? Good question.
Oh.
Bass?
You could, maybe from an anti-shank point of view, you could go back further to the first foam-filled tailor-made irons.
Right. Yes. The burners.
So the burners are PCWs, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so when Bob Parsons sued TaylorMade for doing a filled iron a few years back, he kind of forgot that they did it originally a long way before he did. So, but yeah, I think that, or you've got something like the Big Bertha Callaway when that came out.
Oh yeah, Monty's one. Low heel.
Ping Eye. Yeah, the Ping Eye, the first count with you, but yeah.
We've given you about 6 there.
Yeah.
Low heel. Oh yeah, that's easy low heel. That was easy low
God,
heel.
I almost struggled to keep hold of that.
That was easy low heel. Oh, high heel.
Oh, I got it too high on the face. Bitterly disappointed
Simon.
at that.
Oh no, Simon. The low heel.
I don't know why I didn't tee it even lower.
Low heel. Oh, that is horrible. It's so far right. That has gone so far.
We've got to do the middle yet. We've got to do the middle.
So far right. Oh no!
We both failed on that one.
Both missed that. That felt way lower than that. All right. Well, got to go in the middle now.
Got to go in the middle, right?
Closest to the middle.
So this will be the tie break then.
This is the tie break. Closest to the. I mean, my worry there was that I was actually going to top it, because that low heel.
Yeah.
You can easily get close to the top.
Yeah, that was the less scary one for me.
The high heel was.
The high heel is one that really scares me, because I think it's going to snap the shaft.
Oh, well, that's exactly right. So middle. So how close to the middle? That sounded pretty good to me.
Maybe slightly inside. Oh, slightly inside.
That was very good. That was
pretty
very
good.
good. That's very good. That's very good. Well done. Nice shot. Nice shot. Right, middle.
That sounded awfully good.
Oh, just middle but high. You win that one.
Some good ones though. Some good.
There was some good ones. Very good.
I'm quietly relieved.
Yeah, it's good. That it's good fun. Well, there you go. And I think, in all joking apart, that just shows that to be a good driver of the golf ball and to be a good player, you need to have skill of moving strike around the face. You have to be in control of that over and above your technique, without question.
I think, yeah, and there's obviously being neutral technique helps, but having strike is so key to both sides of what we do. If you can't find the middle of the face or regulate it during a round, then you're struggling to fix anything and you're struggling to get maximum performance. So it's actually quite a good exercise to see. Maybe avoid the high heel one, but seeing if you can use whether it's some tape or some spray and see how in control of your strike you are, because actually that is a good way to really dial in your quality contact.
Lorna was on the winning Curtis Cup team. Didn't know that.
Right.
Didn't know that. Well done, horse racing legends. I love Tercel. Evening, gents. Nice to have you along. Fitted into original Sinister Driver 65 gram shaft. What are the differences with the new CB shafts?
So the new CB's got a T1100 material in the tip. So where they've dragged the balance point back up, had to then stabilise the tip to keep the low spin performance of the Sinister range. But they're both really smooth. If anything, I'd say the CB almost feels a bit smoother. But just that balance point coming up the shaft. The original model Sinister is quite tip balanced, which is why I use it in the driver. But the CB is, as it says, counterbalanced, is a higher balance shaft. It's not as high balance as their Nemesis, not quite. But a very stable performer from spin, really impressed with the spin performance, and a higher balance point if you're someone who needs that to help square the club face up.
If I could make a little request in the tech department, James, as you are head of tech, I need a bigger iPad because I can't bring myself to wear glasses on the show. Just.
Have you got those half?
I don't. I can't.
So you can look over them at something in the distance.
No, he's run off to go and get a bigger one.
Yeah, he's going to bring one of those massive 50-inch screens.
It's like, oh my goodness me.
Oh, he's admitted that live as well.
I know, man. Look, there you go. There you go. Thank you, James. Bigger one. Because I can see it on my iPad, and it looks like the. Oh, that's really done it now. Oh, look, it's telling me to update all of the things. He's thrown me off now. We'll have to go back to that one in a minute. So
get your binoculars out.
Yeah, get binoculars out. Tom Ashmore, can you confirm those GX gloves are the best gloves I have ever used? Oh, can confirm. Yeah, absolutely, Tom. 1 month in, and it's still holding its shape and not gone baggy.
I wonder what you're going to say.
Not gone buggy.
Not gone.
Fantastic. Great gloves. Great gloves. Freddie M, do you have any experience with the UST Mamiya TXPX Lin-Q Black 7F5? I mean, who thinks up these names?
Yeah. I mean, some roll off the tongue a little easier.
And how it might compare to the Ventus Black 7X. I mean, honestly.
So the UST are currently a range that we don't stock. They've ever had a lot less experience with it. So I couldn't say exactly how it feels to swing versus the Ventus Black, because it says we can't stock every brand and every shaft, and UST have a vast range. So that's why currently then we don't hold those ones in stock. And certainly a great quality product. UST have always been very, very good. But generally speaking, the Lin-Q are a slightly more responsive feel than the Ventus range were. But relative to a direct comparison, it's not something that I would confidently say, oh, this feels like this, because it's not a shaft that I've hit that many times at all.
If you are new to a Monday Night Live, we do this every week, 6 p.m. James on the drums, Simon the technician, and me, just the old house guy. We do this every week, answering all your questions on golf coaching, club and equipment. So do share it with your friends. And also, the Precision Golf channel has now offered up a membership, $4.99 a month. Gives you insight into all of the latest and greatest videos that we're releasing ahead of time to those that are just regularly subscribed. So do consider that and maybe support the channel. It'd be really greatly appreciated. Matt Swan, will a soft tip, say a Ventus Red with a strong swing, cause the head to droop too much, causing lower ball flight?
No. No, you're not going to get, out of bend profile, you're not going to get that much droop on it. If you go to something like an Autoflex, which is an incredibly soft shaft, the soft overall and very, very soft overall flex allows the shaft to droop a little bit more. But you've got to go very extreme to do that. So something like a Ventus Red versus a Ventus Blue, the very, very slight more movement in the tip just means a hair more launch and a hair more spin and a softer feel, but isn't going to create a large amount of deflection differential.
Mr. Titleist, any thoughts on switching grips to mid-size? Currently standard with 2 layers of tape. Pros and cons of mid-size. My bad shot is a pull left.
And that may not come from the grip. And pros and cons, the considerations are going to be grip weight. Depending on what grip you've got at the moment, some mid-sizes are 10, 15 grams heavier. So that will change the balance of the club completely, and it, generally speaking, will lose feel for the head, is going to exaggerate a pull from a balance point of view. But if a mid-size is equivalent of about 7 layers of tape, so it's a big difference from what you've currently got. But depending on your hand dynamics, bigger, if it suits more, will give you more contact with your hands, allow you reduced grip pressure and more freedom. But just make sure that you're not, if you go too big, you lose a bit of ability to, if you grip it in the fingers, to actually square the face off. So there are pros and cons, but the weight is the biggest thing to make sure that you don't make a change that hurts the performance by going 10 grams heavier.
Baptiste says, awesome, you're welcome. That was for the wide to narrow explanation. Toffee Pier, here, this looks like a draw-friendly tee-off. It absolutely did, the 18th, 100%. Yeah. Dean Barrett, hi, coming in to see Stuart on the 23rd for a lesson. I'm looking forward to that, saw that in the diary. Could you ask Simon? I can ask Simon. What shaft is similar to the AMT White, please? I would like something a little lighter. Currently play stiff 300s.
So there, the AMT weights are around the one, if it's not the tour, they're around the 115, 115 high 1-teens, mid-high 1-teens. So if it's a similar one, the AMTs, the one thing with the AMTs, they pitch very strongly on weight, more than most do, so that you end up quite light in the long irons and heavy in the short irons. So you normally find one half of the set works and the other doesn't. Similar kind of shaft, I would say 115, mid-launch, mid-spin. Not the dynamic gold mids, they'll swing too tip heavy. I would go with either maybe a Modus 120 in the stiff, might swing a little more tip balanced, or, sorry, thinking. The KBS Tours from a weight point of view and tip responsive point of view, but they're going to swing a little bit lighter. Yeah, either of those are good options depending on whether you want something with a bit more feel of the club head or a bit less.
Very good. Nigel, hi gents, does putting a heavier weight in the front of a TaylorMade QI10 core reduce spin or is more draw bias?
In principle, weight in the front reduces spin a little bit. I think with the QI10, the core one actually has one in the heel, if I think that's the one you mean. Technically, it changes the spin a fraction. Technically, it changes the draw bias a fraction. But unless you're making a big change in weight, which will knacker the balance of the club, it's not going to do very much. It's just the weighting of it, really.
Toffee Peer, in your opinion, what's the best 2024 driver if you consider forgiveness versus distance?
Callaway's Triple Diamond Max.
Very good.
It's really good all-round head for spin stability. Yeah.
Is centre of the face always the best, though?
Yes, you should always aspire to that, I think, because otherwise you're adding gearing from a shape point of view and spin up or down. So you can get, depending on your face orientation and impact, you can get away with a miss one side or other. So if you open, a slight toe miss will kind of cancel things out. But you are playing with fire a little bit by trying to miss-hit it. I would always try and get the middle part of the head to then it's the most balanced, the most stable at impact.
Very much so. Doug says, great demo, guys. Interesting seeing the spin rates change as well. Absolutely.
Huge variables,
absolutely. Yeah. Freddie M, what sort of linear profile driver shafts, popular among higher speeds, have a more mid or neutral balance point? Ventus black and VF low balance. Hazardous T1100 high balance. What's in the middle?
When you say linear, I assume you mean kind of stable ones. What's in the middle? The Ventus TR. That weave in the top section brings the balance point back up a little bit. In terms of really neutral, the Tensei 1K Pro Blues are a little less low spin, but they're really incredibly neutrally balanced. Those are probably the most neutrally weighted all the way through.
Very good, very good. Matt Swan, will a soft tip? No, I've done that one already. Chris Burgess, I'm not saying the Yorkshire Blade, he said it again, he put it in capital letters this time. Chris, you nearly got me there. Dream irons to own again, Mizuno TP2000s. What would be yours? Those are those gold things, weren't they? Those TP2000s. Yeah. They weren't very big in Yorkshire. They weren't very big anywhere else in the world. What were yours?
I always wanted a set of TP9s.
Yeah, I had a set of those.
That was a set that I always wanted as a junior growing up. So yeah, them.
I was TP19. They
it's like a top line, those.
Yeah, they had a bit.
Faldo's one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was a Faldo junkie. Yeah, bad.
That or TP18s. Those are the ones I always wanted as a kid.
Yeah, very good. Freddie M, yes, it's a very silly name from UST. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was the one that I ran out. Bloody hell, I mean, it was ridiculous. They must
sounds like Morse code.
I'll tell you how we're gonna name this. Yeah. Paul Dunn, gents, I can't feel the club face in transition. Just reach up and grab it and you'll be able to touch it. And in the downswing, clubs too light, KBS Tour, light, regular, or grip, or something else. Well, I mean, from a technical standpoint, it could be a million things, but
it's either going to be, so if the KBS Tour Light is in the reg is a 95 gram, so it's either the dead weight of the club the shaft is too light, or the swing weight's too light. But the KBS Tour Light has a slightly higher balance point, so it's either dead weight of shaft, not tip balanced enough, or not the head weight's not heavy enough. So either way, it could be swing weight or it could be total weight.
Toffee Fee says, Toffee Peer, Toffee Fee.
Hungry?
I mean, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's TOFFE Peer TH. I mean, where did you ever think up that handle name from? From your perspective, during a fitting, what's more important, getting a correct shaft or a correct club head?
So they both have, and I'm this might sound sitting right in the fence. If you don't get the right shaft, then you're compromising your
it's like asking, do you prefer? Is it better to have air or water? Right? Yeah. You need both.
Also,
right?
you can. Yeah, I mean, you can probably get away with playing a slightly incorrect head more than an incorrect shaft. You get the shaft wrong, then you're going to have to compensate to deliver the head, and then you're having to manage the club the whole time. If you get the head wrong but the shaft right, then the flight and the forgiveness might be a little off, but you should be able to hit a more consistent direction of shot. So they both have critical importance to getting absolutely the best out of it. but I would always get the shaft right over the head right if you had to get one versus the other.
Well, we've got through the questions, so keep them coming in. We've got 10 minutes left. Why don't we play that hole at Crans-sur-Sierre that's at par four, the short par four, with some beautiful vistas.
Yeah.
Keep those questions coming in. We do this every Monday night. James swans around back there. I mean, he's got so many buttons on his deck now, he doesn't really have to do anything. He just on his deck.
So New Zealand patio, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Dick.
Right, wait for that to load up. Yeah, so this is the drivable par 4 that has the out of bounds on the right and the mountains in the background. Yeah.
It's Dutch. It's Dutch. Toffee Pier TH. It's Dutch.
Ah, right.
That's all right. He apologised. You don't have to apologise. He's apologise. I love it. We love it. We love it. It gives me opportunity
I think
to give
the
it
more of these complicated names that Stuart has to try and read out, the better the entertainment value.
I know. Suzanne wants family rates on the lessons. Well, I mean, you'll get at least 1% off.
Well, I was going to say charge them more, won't you?
Yeah. And then Nigel says, can you test the Ventus Black V, Ventus Black Plus? Thanks. We could do that after we played this hole. Suzanne, Cone Cooper, come on guys, get back to the basics. No GTY TLR. Reality is the basic, not super. Don't know what that means.
No.
Come on guys, get back to the basic. No GTY TLR. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
No, I'm not down with the kids.
Speaking a language that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
There on that one, 293. But it's at altitude. Yeah. At altitude. Go on then, 3 wood it.
3 wood, take dead aim.
Are you taking it off the deck as well?
Oh, I just can't be bothered to tee it up.
Oh right, I wouldn't be, yeah. Okay, go on then.
Right. So.
Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was. How many? Hang on a minute, James. Has he been standing here?
I have hit this one before.
That is absolutely melted.
Get left. Oh,
that was a nice shot. I don't think I've got this one.
I reckon you can get it there. Yeah. That was a little bit.
Was
a little spinny.
A bit puffy.
I've got a bit more in the tank over that
puffy.
one.
Bit puffy.
It's in bounds, which is the key thing.
I can't believe how many of them hit it dribbled out of bounds on this hole.
Yeah, when you think how much. I mean, playing out the bunkers onto the greens is not exactly fun because you're going back towards the out of bounds.
Yeah.
But
nevertheless, right?
I mean, it was brave of you to say that before you hit.
Oh no! Oh no! That went out of bounds. That went out of bounds.
I mean, I can't believe it either.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go one more. I'm gonna go one more.
Shocking, isn't it?
I'm gonna go one more. Come on, Stuart.
That was never going right.
No, I don't think I've got that. I'm feeling very slow. Well, good layup. Anyway, that's what the crowds came to see.
Yeah.
A nice layup into the rough.
So there was a driver. There's a sharp comparison.
Yeah, there was the driver. Oh no basic instruction. No basic instruction. I don't know what that means. No basic instruction. Anyway, still don't really know where you're at. Gary Sutterfield's on. The question was, hang on. I can't see where it was.
Was it
Was it on my channel or was it on your channel?
Was it original Ventus Black to Delacour Plus Ventus Black? I think.
Think of
I believe.
I can't see where the question's gone. Oh, here we go. Nigel, can you test a Ventus Black V, Ventus Black Plus? Thanks.
Certainly can.
Tom Ashmore, could you recommend any drills for releasing angles in the downswing with fairway woods to shallow out the angle of attack? I can do that in a moment for sure, Tom.
So got original Ventus Black. Yeah, they are actually quite different beasts to swing with actually. So, so this one there's a little bit more You can feel a little bit in the handle, stable in the tip, balance down the bottom end.
Everyone's decided to send questions in 5 minutes to go.
So you're certainly a club you can have a go at, very, very stable. Yeah, not bad there. But definitely requires a bit more of an active move. You've got to fetch the bottom end through a little bit more with that one than some shafts. Velocore Plus is obviously the matte finish versus the gloss. The balance in this shaft is quite different. So
yeah, we needed driver for this hole.
I could get there with a 3.
Can you get it? Okay, that's right.
So this one, the balance point is not as tip heavy on the Velocore Plus than it is on the original Ventus Black. Right. So you get a bit more feel out of the handle in particular on this. Oh, and I need some weight in the bottom end. So for me, I lose the bottom end on it, so it doesn't drop into plane for me.
It's awfully high.
Yeah,
that was someone's kitchen.
That was so actually doesn't need quite as active a pull on it as the original series. If I quieten my arms down with this and make just a strong turn through, then it comes through a little bit more. But you definitely get a lower swing weight with the new Velocore Plus to the original Ventus Black.
You hit that nicely enough out of the neck for it to just find the green.
But yeah, really quite that's the most different of the 3 models to swing with in the Plus versus the original one.
Chris Burgess says, great, informative and entertaining show. Many thanks. You like that little pirouette I just did there. Freddie M, can you think of a scenario where you would grab one of the original Ventus shafts rather than the new version?
Yeah, again, the new versions all swing a little bit less tip heavy. They move differently, slightly different dead weights, slightly different feels. Particularly on the Ventus Black, if you want something with a bit more balance in the tip end, I'd go the original versus the current one. If anything, the new ones feel a bit smoother, but ultimately very slight differences in dead weight and balance point would dictate which one's better for one player.
You're all asking too many questions. We've got 3 minutes to go. You're flooding it with questions. Yeah. You're ridiculous. What are you thinking, people? Anyway, we'll try our best. Josh Right, is the VA Sinister iron shaft more premium than the Axiom or similar ballpark?
Not quite as premium, not a million miles off, but not quite as premium. The Axiom is pretty punchy, but the Sinister's not far off.
What's the fastest 7-iron clubhead speed you've seen here?
Well,
apart from Matt.
It's going to be up there at around 108, 109 miles.
Okay. Well, Brandon, a client of mine that's just asking a question, he's 102 with a 7-iron.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's impressive. He's currently down the gym. He trains around there. He must be on the bike.
Need to.
Good evening, guys. He's probably on the rower or the bike. Fantastic showing as per usual. Thanks, Brandon. Just a quick one. If iron shafts are plus 1 inch, should wedges be the same as even the shafts all the way through? Thanks.
Ideally, yeah. Most of the time you would, because at that shortest end, you don't want to be if you get a ball below your feet in a bunker, you don't want to be hunched right down to it. So generally speaking, if you're an inch long with the irons, you want to be similar with the wedges. The difficulty comes in head weights. In wedges, most wedges get pretty heavy, so swing weights can get excessive, other than with ping where you can get lighter head weight for them.
I'm going to ask BG1784, because Mr. Tyler's asked a few questions already. If I went for a fitting with each one of your fitters on a different day, do you think I'd end up with a different result? If so, what does that say about the usefulness of a fitting? Thanks. All controversial questions.
No, I think it's a very fair question. I think it would be, ultimately, it would be, you're going to get very, very, very similar results in terms of where I end up in terms of head style, flight, shaft heights. But equally speaking, I couldn't honestly stand here and say, yeah, you're going to get identical results, because we all interpret things very slightly differently. It's a human element to it, but ultimately you're still going to get a very, very similar product from each one of us. And it's still going to be a lot better than just buying blindly off the rack. You're still seeing an expert giving you expert advice and dialing in the numbers to get the best results possible for you on the day. That's got to be better than just going, oh, I like the look of them. But there isn't anywhere in the world that you could see different people and get exactly the same. You'd get very, very minutely different results from each one of us, I would imagine, but minutely different rather than, oh, that's, how did you get that versus that? They will all make sense relative to each other.
But that's the same in any field of expertise, that if you saw 10 experts, not 10 experts would give you exactly the same answer, would they? But they would all be really very good answers and very good directions to go in that particular field. So, but good question, good question.
Yeah, it's a very fair one as well.
We have reached our time. Sorry if we didn't get to your questions. Gary's asked if we've got another hour. We haven't got another hour, Gary. You have to wait till next week. As usual, next week. Oh, you're not here.
I won't know.
You're not here.
I have a course to be on, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. Actually, yeah. I'm here next week though, and we're gonna try and rope in one of the fitters. If not, you got me for an hour on my own. So no club equipment questions, just golf swing questions. But either way, we will be here next Monday at 6 p.m. Simon's off gallivanting. James hopefully is going to be here. I will be here. Yeah, he's definitely going to be here. Barney's asleep down in front of us. He'll be here. I hope you can join us. And if you can, do share these lives with one of your friends, because it would be really great to see. We've sort of stagnated at about 100 people that watch across our two channels. It'd be lovely to get that to 200 or 300 people, because the more the merrier. We'd like to get you all involved. So thank you so much for following us, watching us, subscribing to us. It's really greatly appreciated. From Simon and I, thank you so much. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.